Today I want to explore the July 2026 mystic rectangle as a sacred tuning of consciousness, where tension becomes harmony and the soul learns how to play a new note in the song of humanity. Hi, Cosmic Soul family. This is one of those transmissions that I want to move through slowly because the geometry is speaking in many layers. And as I was reflecting on this particular configuration, the image that kept coming through was music, a stringed instrument, a violin, a guitar, a harp, something that cannot make sound unless there is tension. And that feels important because sometimes when we hear the word opposition in astrology or tension or polarity, we automatically think something's wrong. We think tension means conflict. We think it means resistance. We think it means something to break. But what if it's also how the universe tunes us? What if tension is not always punishment? What if tension is the pressure required for resonance? Because a string with no tension cannot sing. A string that is too loose cannot hold the tone. It can't vibrate coherently. It can't carry sound. In the same way, when we look at these oppositions in the sky, Pluto and Aquarius opposite Jupiter and Leo, Neptune and Aries opposite the Moon in Libra, during this July 19th configuration, we're looking at the cosmic strings being tightened to tune us, to bring us into a new frequency of coherence. So when astrologers talk about a mystic rectangle, they are speaking of a sacred geometric pattern made of two oppositions, two trines, and two sextiles. But I want to build into this symbolically. The oppositions are the tension lines. They are the strings being pulled. The trines are the natural flow. They are the resonance that begins to move through the field. And the sextiles, they are the harmonies that ask for our participation. They are the places where we are invited to respond and to collaborate and to play our part. So this is not just a rectangle in the sky. Think of it like an instrument, a cosmic instrument, a sacred geometry of sound, a harmonic field, the music of the spheres. What I love about the word rectangle is that we can hear another phrase inside of it: rectify the tangle, to re-see the tangle, to bring order to what has been knotted, to bring consciousness to what has been confused, to bring harmony to what has been distorted. And that is what this configuration feels like to me. It feels like the universe is tightening the strings of consciousness so that we as humanity can hear where we have been out of tune. And it's not from judgment, but it's from awareness. Because once we can hear the distortion, we can begin to retune the instrument. And the instrument is us, the human body, the human heart, the human mind, the human family, our collective nervous system, the way we relate to technology and creativity, and the way we relate to power, the way we relate to one another. Now, the main tension line we are looking at is Pluto and Aquarius opposing Jupiter and Leo. And this is a powerful tension point because Pluto and Aquarius speaks to the collective, humanity, technology, artificial intelligence, networks, systems, the hidden architecture of the future. But Pluto reveals what is buried. It transforms what has become unconscious. Pluto exposes the shadow inside the system. In Aquarius, that shadow may be hidden inside the collective mind, inside the group, inside the technology, inside the synthetic structures that are now becoming a part of our everyday reality. But across from Pluto, we have Jupiter and Leo. And Leo is the heart. It's creativity. Leo is our life force, our visibility, our leadership. It's the sovereign creative spark that lives within us. Leo says, do not forget the sun inside the human being. Don't forget the heart or the inner child. Don't forget joy or your art. Don't forget that we are not just data. We're not just systems. We're not just profiles and platforms and algorithms and networks. We are souls. We are radiant beings. We are creators. So this opposition between Pluto and Aquarius and Jupiter and Leo becomes a creative tension between the collective system and the individual heart, between technology and soul, between the synthetic world and the organic intelligence of the body. And this is where the tuning comes in, because Jupiter and Leo pulling on Pluto and Aquarius is saying, Can our future still have heart? Can this technology that we are creating still serve life? Can these systems still honor our creativity? And can humanity evolve without losing the warmth of the soul? Pluto in Aquarius is pulling on Jupiter and Leo, saying, can your creativity serve more than your personal self? Can your leadership be part of a larger human transformation? Can your light participate in the healing of the collective? And can your heart become medicine for the group field? This is the tension. But it's not conflict. It's the string being tuned between personal sovereignty and collective evolution, between the individual flame and the future of humanity. And then we have Neptune and Aries opposite the moon in Libra, and this is another string, another polarity. Neptune in Aries is a new spiritual identity that's emerging. It's the new I am, a mystical courage, a dissolving of the old self, a new relationship with action, instinct, identity, and spiritual will. And across from that, the moon in Libra asks for harmony, relationship, balance, beauty, reciprocity, emotional intelligence. The moon in Libra asks, how do we stay connected while becoming new? How do we honor the self without abandoning the other? And how do we stop betraying ourselves for peace while also not weaponizing independence? So this second opposition is tuning the relationship between selfhood and connection, between the new I am and the sacred we, between personal emergence and relational harmony. And again, this is not just tension for tension's sake, this is tuning. This is the universe asking, can the self and the relationship come into a higher octave? Can the individual and the collective begin to resonate rather than compete? Can we learn to hold polarity without collapsing into separation? That is the teaching of the mystic rectangle. It gives us tension, but it also gives us harmonics. The trines and the sextiles become the pathways of grace. Pluto in Aquarius trining the moon in Libra supports the transformation of our relationships, our communities, our social contracts, and the emotional architecture of the collective. Neptune in Aries trining Jupiter in Leo brings spiritual fire, creative courage, vision, faith, and the willingness to lead from the heart. And the sextiles, they remind us that this is not passive. Harmony is not something that just happens. Harmony is what we participate in. Sextiles are opportunities. They're invitations. They say pick up the instrument, tune the string, listen, respond, play your part. And this is why when I look at this configuration, I don't see gloom and doom. I don't see fear. I see a sacred instrument being tuned. I see consciousness being asked to harmonize within a new reality. And I see humanity being invited to ask, what kind of future are we actually creating? Is it a future that disconnects us from the body? Or is it a future that brings us deeper into embodied consciousness? Is it a future where technology replaces the soul? Or could it be a future where technology is guided by the soul? Is it a future where creativity becomes performance only? Or could it be a future where creativity becomes the medicine? Because Jupiter in Leo reminds us that the heart is not optional. Joy is not optional. The creative fire is not optional. Children, art, beauty, play, courage, visibility, these are not luxuries. They're part of our human frequency. They're part of what keeps humanity alive. And Pluto in Aquarius reminds us that the collective field is being transformed whether we're ready or not. Systems are changing. Technology is changing. Community is changing. Consciousness is changing. The architecture of humanity is changing. So now the question could become, can the transformation be heart-led? Can the future be soul-guided? Can we bring organic intelligence into the synthetic age? Can we remember that the most advanced technology is still consciousness itself? And this is where the Cancer new moon ties in so beautifully, because we just had Cancer in the new moon, July 14th. And Cancer asked, what nourishes life? What is home? What is family? What is embodied safety? What are the roots that we're planting? And if this mystic rectangle is the instrument, then Cancer is the body that feels the sound. Cancer is the waters. It's the womb. It's the ancestral field. It's the memory of belonging. It reminds us that the future cannot be built only in the mind. It cannot be built only through technology or through our systems, but it must be built with care, nurturance, emotional intelligence, and through remembering the human heart and connectivity to all of the human family. So maybe this new moon in Cancer is asking us to plant a new seed inside the instrument of consciousness, a seed that says, I choose to tune myself to love. I choose to let tension become wisdom and let polarity become relationship. I choose to let the future be guided by my heart and to create from soul, not from fear. I choose to remember that my body, my creativity, my voice, my nervous system, and my love are all part of this great song. Maybe the universe is not asking us to escape the tension. It's asking us to listen more deeply, to hear the note underneath the noise, to hear where we are out of tune, to hear where humanity is being invited into a new octave. So as we move through this new moon in Cancer into this larger July configuration through this mystic rectangle, I invite you to ask yourself, where is life tightening the string? Where am I feeling tension that may actually be asking for tuning? Where have I called something into conflict? Maybe it's calling me into coherence. Where's my heart being asked to lead? Where is my relationship to technology, community, creativity, and the human family being rewritten? And what new note is my soul ready to play? Because we are not outside of the music, we are inside of it. We are part of the instrument. We're part of the song. And the more consciously we tune ourselves, the more coherently we contribute to the field. We've got this, Soul Fam. So much love.